うすれば納得してもらえるだろう。やはり実際に示すのが一番か。君はさっきなんだかすごいスキルをたくさん見せてくれたが、俺のスキルを見てもらおう。プチファイヤー。
One of the highest compliments you can give any show, any piece of media, that I personally think that you can give it a compliment, not to, anybody specific, but just kind of in general, is to say, I'm really enjoying XYZ thing. I'm really enjoying this album. I'm really enjoying this book. I'm really enjoying this movie. I'm really enjoying this show. I think that's a really big compliment. And that's where I am right now with I Parry Everything, is like, I'm really enjoying watching this show. I think that there's another show this season called like 𝐒𝐻𝐚𝐧𝐧𝐞𝐥 Adventure or something, that like that and I Parry Everything are very similar shows, but Parry Everything is just a cut above that show. Like that one's more of like a very, like a dime a dozen type show that's, more or less kind of thrown out to the world to either push manga sales or just kind of be like a promotion for this show. I Parry Everything seems like this studio OLM is actually has a little care. And the reason that I've kind of landed at that is, first off, I'm enjoying watching it and I'm really entertained and I'm like invested. But then secondarily is how they handled the introduction of Phil Banana. His name's Gilbert, but he was like Philly Gilly Billy Banana. I love that about our main character. But how they treated that, and we got a flashback and backstory, but it didn't overstay its welcome. It gave us just enough info on this character that they introduced, and then it got out of there. And I really appreciated that. I was like, oh no, every time we get a backstory or we get like some filler characters, life story, and then they die or something, it's always like, that was a waste of time. But I like how they, they took, I think maybe 3 minutes, okay? So we had like a 22, 23-minute runtime. They took 3 minutes and they gave us how he started. They gave us his spearmanship. They gave us his driving force, which is just that he can't find anybody to match him and he's bored. They gave us kind of like what his next thing was to find an opponent. And then they ran us back through the battle that took place between Noor and between this Gilbert guy. Because originally how they did it was really crafty. So they had Noor fight this guy. And Noor was just like dodging and weaving. He was like, hey, you can go faster. Because the whole time Noor's still thinking that this guy's like leagues above him. Not the case, okay? And this guy pulls out all this stuff. He pulls out his finishing move, and Noor goes, what? You know what I mean? He uses feather step and physical enhancement and everything else, and he dodges it. And that guy's like, and then we get his backstory, and then it comes back, and it replays that moment again, but from his perspective. And we end up seeing that Noor like destroyed the field or the trading area, and we found out that he's now reinvigorated once again to, now have Noor as his challenger. And all of that happened in the span of, his fight in Noor and his fight were maybe 2, maybe 3 minutes. And then his backstory and kind of getting us back to that point was like another, 3 minutes. So it was very well done. And that's, again, being very complimentary to the episode. Is I was entertained. I was invested, and then we got back to the action, and like it brought us back to like, okay, that's some cool stuff. Then we got treated to some really cool, funny stuff, which is just basically Noor going back and like cleaning the gutters of mud and stuff, using his, elite, legendary weapon to do it. And then him trying to come up with business ideas because he's broke and everything else, and he's just trying to find his way in the world. And then so we get that funny moment, and then it goes back to, okay, here's where it's like, okay, we're back to the plot. It takes us back to Princess Lindbergh or Lynn or whatever her name is, right? I think he calls her Lynn. So Princess Lindbergh, Lynn. So we get back to Lynn, and Lynn's like, hey, I want to be your apostle, or I want to be your assistant or whatever. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. And right then and there, I was like, this is a lesson for all of my introverted friends who don't do well socialistically, who like, if somebody comes up and you're just like, you stay quiet or don't know what to say. let Noor be a lesson to all of my friends out there who struggle socialistically, because he mostly stayed quiet and got himself in a big predicament. Because all he needed to say was, hey Lynn, I know you see me in this light. I'm not this guy you think I am. Like, I'm an F rank, I'm a failure, like my job is to clean gutters. Like, whenever you don't want to be an assistant, because you would just be, you would be slinging mud with me. Like, I don't even have like a stable home. Like, he could have explained all this to her, but instead he was like, want to see my power? Tiny flame. Tiny flame. And she's like, bleh. And she's like, I'm nothing. It's funny, right? It's funny because he got himself in a lot of trouble because he didn't explain himself. She shows him all these powers. He's like, my turn. Tiny flame. And she's like, and then we get the backstory of why she was so taken aback, because his tiny flame is like, it's a tiny flame, but it's larger than like the 200-old grandmaster guy, which just goes back to the fact that he's legendary status of all the level 1 basic spells, all the things he learned in all 6 of the disciplines. He's like beyond master in all those one little disciplines. Obviously she still wants to learn from him, and she still told Noor, like, I want to be you or whatever. And we ended the episode with her kind of like, how do you say it? Making a stance of like, I'm not gonna let you go. At first I thought she was about to be like, you're mine, like we're married now, like you're engaged or something. But it ended up her just, kind of re-saying like, I am, like just putting her foot down. But he got himself in trouble because he just didn't speak. So I'm just gonna put a cap on that. But anyways, this show's really good. I'm enjoying it. I think it's really entertaining. It's really fun. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that, hype with you guys of I Parry Everything. This is easy 8 out of 10, and that's like really high praise. So let me know what you guys think about the show. But I think it's one of the better new shows of the season so far, at least from my point of view. So let me know yours in the comments. Let me know if you guys agree with my thoughts this episode. If you disagree, let me know what. And maybe my enjoyment's higher than yours. So if that's the case too, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you in the comments. All right, my friends. Peace.